Who are we talking to next?
All right. We've got time for one more, I think. Eric, your choice. Who would you like to talk to?
Ooh. Well, first, Bunny, call back next week.
Absolutely.
Really want to talk to you. I think Josh. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk to Josh in Tennessee.
Hi, my friends.
Hello.
So good to talk to you guys again.
It's good to talk to you too.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
How can we help you today? What's going on?
So back in March, my father had passed away. It was a long time coming. It wasn't like a surprise thing or anything, but
Okay.
he was in our home on hospice, and he was always extremely non-denominational Christian, which we all know means extreme Pentecostal. That's why he was the associate pastor of the church that I was raised in.
I feel that. Yep.
So
The
super
Lord
hardcore.
The Lord just puts things on his heart, and he just needs to let you fucking know.
Oh yeah, he loved to tell me how much I was going to believe he was right when I was burning in hell.
Oof.
So great parenting there.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Take notes, everyone.
Yeah. So he's on his deathbed, and he's just hanging on, and he's miserable and in all this pain. And my thinking is just make him as comfortable as possible. And he begs me, he tells me that I have to come back to the Lord, and because I'm leading my kids to hell, and they're going to burn in hell. And he starts crying and tell me he doesn't want to see his grandkids in hell. And I know the manipulation tactic, and before this point, I would always just dismiss it and be like, well, I think we'd all rather just be in hell than worship a God who sends your grandchildren to hell. But this time, because, again, he kept hanging on, I just decided, okay, Dad, I'll pray with you. And
accept Jesus into your heart.
Yep.
Say the sinner's prayer.
And speaking the language and just regurgitating all these lines I used to say growing up. The first 30 years of my life, I said those words and believed them.
Yeah.
And then
that must have felt so icky afterwards.
It felt very icky.
Yeah.
Especially since I knew it was just a manipulation tactic on my end to ease him.
You know, I don't know. I'm going to give some personal details about us.
Okay. Cool. I trust you.
So I remember V and I were having a conversation, and I said, V, if I'm on my deathbed and you've done something terrible to wrong me in my life, lie to me. Don't make my last moments the moments that I'm going to be like, what the hell? Just don't.
I think
just
we were watching season 3 of Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
And we were watching as one of them was going into heart surgery, and they I have to confess a thing.
Yeah, don't confess the thing. Just don't. How about not? Me personally, let me go not knowing that. That's fine. Now, if I'm alive and you respect me as a human being, be honest and tell me. But in this specific circumstance on your deathbed, I think no matter what you did, Josh, it's okay. I don't think there is anyone who would fault you for any of the decisions that you made.
Yeah.
Whether it was to confront or to lie or to give in or any of those things. I really don't think that there's a wrong way that you could have done it. And if after the fact you're looking at yourself and going, I wish I would have done it differently, you got to practice some self-compassion and forgiveness, because you don't deserve to do that to yourself. And if it makes it feel any better, if you had somebody you cared about and you saw that they were being guilted by an outside party for a personal, deep decision like that, you would be protective over your friend. And you deserve that respect for yourself, too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's interesting because so my sister, she's also an atheist, but she's been even more in the closet about it to our parents over the years than I have. I mean, I was always the disappointing child, so it was just a little easier to
Yeah, I know how that
add
goes.
to that. And she, you know, he told me after we prayed that he then wanted her to do it, and that like I kind of panicked over because I knew my sister would not feel comfortable doing that. And thankfully, though, that night he ended up passing. But like when I told my sister about it, she just she had the sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach. She was like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And you know, she said that, you know, she approved and thought I did the right thing, which, you know, I definitely feel that way now, especially. But it was just it was very surreal.
Yeah.
And it was eye-opening to how little meaning there is to those words. You know, when you grow up Christian, you believe that all words have power behind them. Like, you can't joke and say, oh, I might get sick or something, because then you will get sick because you've commanded it to be.
Damn, that still hangs on. That one hangs on. Yep. I will admit that one is still something I'm working through.
Well, I mean, it's worked its way out of Christianity and into the secret as well. Like,
It's just thing. Like, knock on wood, is still very much a thing. But like, Josh, I think the takeaway here, and I'm sorry, I really don't want to rush through this because this is an important conversation, but we do need to wrap up soon. The takeaway is, whether your sister if your sister got in that situation and was like, I cannot do that, I'm not going to, that is the correct thing for her to do. If you get you got into that situation, you made the call, I'm going to do this for my dad, that's the correct thing for you to do. There is no, apart from being like abusive, there is no wrong thing to do in that situation, because we haven't been in your shoes there. And losing a parent, even kind of a shitty one, is a traumatic and intense experience that you only experience, hopefully just, you know, once, you know, probably twice in your life, and that's it. So it's not something you're going to get good at, thankfully, and it's not something that you're going to be able to prep for. So in the moment, if you are motivated by being kind, if you are motivated by a sense of self-preservation, you're motivated in any way, shape, or form to do something kind to this person as they're dying, that is the right thing to do. So if you needed to hear that, I hope that that helps. And if anybody in the audience who's listening needed to hear that, or is in a situation similar to yours, we see you, you're doing okay. You did the right thing. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in and sharing. That's a huge thing to put out there, but I know that there are people who are going to benefit from it. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Always good.
Oh, that was me. That was me. I thought that was it. I'm sorry.
There's such a beautiful moment there. And
I know.
Short.
I know. I'm sorry.
Painful.